He suddenly realized that the worst student in his class might actually be a long-distance running prodigy. He had been following the boy by car for 10 whole minutes. The speedometer showed 12 miles per hour, yet the boy never slowed down. That left him a little stunned. Curious to see how far the kid could go, he kept driving behind him until the boy finally noticed.
Why are you following me?
You know how fast you were going?
What are you, a cop?
Can I give you a lift?
No. Jim, quit following me.
As he watched the boy walk away, Jim fell into deep thought. The kid he just saw might really be something special. Back home, Jim started digging through old records. He compared times from previous state competitions, and the results shocked him. At that pace, the boy could easily rank among the top 10 runners in the entire state, and that's without proper running shoes. With the right gear, he might even be a champion. Jim felt like he had just discovered buried treasure. As a PE teacher and coach, finding a champion could change everything for him. His reputation, his pay, even his entire life. He could finally leave the small, forgotten town. This was McFarland, one of the poorest places in California. The only reason Jim ended up here was because he had no other choice. He used to be a promising coach, but after accidentally injuring a player during a game, he was fired and labeled as hot-tempered. No school wanted him anymore. Desperate for a job, he moved his entire family to this dusty little town. They were used to city life, so everyone struggled to adjust. There wasn't even a proper restaurant around. Not a single place selling burgers, just tacos and burritos. Crime was bad, and Jim never felt safe. He hated everything about this place and wanted to leave that very day, but no other school would take him, so he had no choice but to stay and teach here. On his first day, he discovered just how undisciplined the students were. When he told them to warm up, 3 of them simply walked off, saying they had to go home to work on the farm. Jim didn't expect much anyway. He barely cared about the class, just told the rest of them to jog a few laps and called it a day. But that's when he noticed something strange. These kids were good at running. Still, he didn't think much of it, until one evening, driving home, he saw Thomas. The boy was running at 12 miles per hour again. Jim couldn't believe it. At that speed, Thomas could run a mile in 5 minutes. The world record for marathon pace was just slightly faster. Thomas was a rare talent. For the first time in a long while, Jim felt a spark of hope. If he could bring these runners together, form a cross-country team, and lead them to victory, he might become a respected coach again, maybe even find a better job elsewhere. He went straight to the principal with his idea, but the principal wasn't interested. There was no funding. That didn't stop Jim.
California public school system pre-approved 6 new sports a few years ago to get funding for new lockers, including, guess what? Cross country.
The principal finally agreed. Now that the team was approved, Jim needed runners. In class, he set up a small race. The top 4 would each get a sports drink. The students jumped at the chance. After the run, Jim picked the best finishers and invited them to join his team. The first to say yes was Johnny, who already loved running. With Johnny's help, Jim quickly recruited 7 runners in total. Of course, Thomas was one of them. Training began, but every time Jim tried running with them, he was out of breath halfway through. 4 kids who ran to school every day. Though, this was nothing. They finished the drills easily. Watching them gulp down free tap water after training, Jim felt a pang of guilt. None of them even owned real running shoes. He said nothing, but he was deeply moved.